Hello, Bakery Inquiries. How may I help you?
Hello, I'm looking for a recipe for flatbread.
OK, I'll just Google one for you. Should take no more than a few seconds.
Thank you.
Right, here's one. You ready?
Yes.
Take a loaf of bread.
Yes.
And one steamroller.
You aren't by any chance on the Toe in the Water radio show website's joke page, are you?
Yes. How did you know that?
Because it's Sunday and it's 3 o'clock and it's time for...
The Toe in the Water radio show, lucky episode 8. Previously on the Toe in the Water radio show, we have given you ducks.
The ducks!
Camels.
The camels!
And some poetry in...
Poetry Corner!
Adverse Conditions, a salutary tale for all aspiring poets, written and read by John Sims. Do you remember that little item I wrote last spring? Said Alfred Lord Tennyson to his wife as she squinted in a distracted fashion over her needlepoint. The one about the flower in the crannied wall.
Sorry, dear, what was that?
The noble poet sighed into his not inconsiderable whiskers and tried again. The crannied wall with the flower, remember? His wife looked up even more distractedly.
Sorry, dear, is it a problem with the gardener? They're hard to come by these days, gardeners. Seems all the good ones have gone to the cities, something to do with cotton, I believe.
The whiskers were ruffled by an even greater outpouring of frustration. No, my beloved, it's a poem.
Oh, she said, one of those. Very nice, I'm sure, my love. Was it about me?
No, it was about a flower in a crannied wall. Surely you remember. She didn't even bother to knit her brows, nor make any other pretence of attempted recall.
Oh, she said, I never remember those ones. Not much of a plot, really, is there? I like the ones with a bit of a storyline, something you can get your teeth into. It wasn't the one about daffodils, was it? Or was that the other chap? It was, wasn't it? What's his name? Wandsworth. You wrote the one about the shallots, didn't you?
His eyeballs rolled towards the chandeliered ceiling before returning to the sweet attentiveness of his wife's placid features. You do know what I do for a living? He queried.
Yes, dear, you're the poet laureate. You write things for special occasions. I've often thought there's more money in that. Maybe you could come up with a line of verses for birthdays and Christmas and such like. People could send them through the penny post.
His soul withered beneath the constricting layers of his Victorian garb. If the light of his life, the cynosure of his affections, the partner of his waking and sleeping hours, had such little comprehension of what he was trying to achieve, what hope was there?
And that one about the Light Brigade,
she continued, a sudden fire in her normally docile eyes.
That was a corker. I loved that. Could have done with a bit more blood, maybe. A touch of the gory detail. The public lap that up. And humour. Make 'em laugh. Never fails. But I'll skip the flowers and the meaningful stuff. They're not interested. Too busy earning a living.
Alfred Lord Tennyson stared out of the window. There was a look of defeat in his eyes. His gaze wandered down to the bay as he breathed a final heavy sigh. The tip of his tongue protruded from the corner of his mouth. The scansion was tricky, and he would have a struggle with the rhyming pattern, but there really was nothing else for it. He took up his pen and began to write. There was an old man from Freshwater who had a peculiar daughter.
And that was...
Poetry Corner!
And now we have a little musical interlude brought to us by the world-famous...
Graham Sandford.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is so good to see you all here tonight. Since taking up the piano at a very early age, a week ago, I have become fully acquainted with all the heartaches and the thousand natural shocks that practice is heir to. And so, for tonight's recital, I give you my Symphony No. 7... Sorry? Oh, my Symphony number 1 in B-flat minor.
Bonjour, Bijou.
Bonjour, compact.
Quelle heure est-il?
Les tempes de la brioche.
Brioche?
Oui, brioche.
Ah, brioche.
C'est magnifique.
Non, j'ai un pain au chocolat plus.
Qu'est-ce que c'est? Vous êtes un idiote. Brioche, elle est mieux.
Pain au chocolat.
Brioche.
Pain au chocolat.
Brioche.
Non, pain
Brioche.
au chocolat.
Il dit brioche.
Pain au chocolat. Pain au chocolat.
Brioche.
Pain au chocolat.
Lavinia,
Yes, Monty.
I'm just about to pop the cork.
Cheers. Monty, I'm just going to defibrillate my legs before the guests arrive.
Don't you mean epilate?
No. Clear. Cheers. Monty.
Oh, what is it, Lavinia?
Help me, I'm sobering up.
I'll be with you in a minute, Lavinia.
Bring wine, Monty, lots of it.
I'm just going to collect some glasses.
Don't bother with the glasses. Grab a crate and I'll take it from there.
Rightio.
Bring 2 if you're joining me for a snifter before dinner.
Dinner? Do we eat?
Not that I've noticed.
Well, I can't say I can recall any meals recently. No.
We interrupt this radio show with some breaking news. Strange lights in the night sky. A hovering disc reported. Hovering. Fear and panic amongst the citizens of the city as alien becomes the word on everybody's lips. And all of the local traffic news on TITW Radio News on the Hour.
My name is Simon Riccardi.
Correspondence from the library of Lady Damara's salon.
Ahoy there, Miss Jacket Hoyle. Or should I say, ahoy there. But I should play this dafty little games, for this is not a little girlican natter, is it now? For some rather seriously type things are afoot and about to happen. Can you feel the seriously type thing's hot breath upon your neck like that of a salivating wolf? No? You will. Oh, you will. For I, Lady Damara Fuddlestone Wolfthwaite III, am being held captive by none other than the Reverend Hoffmeyer. Yes, he. He needed a little damselikins in distress, and for some silly reason said I would do. How dread-making, don't you think? It's really rather a to-do. He's even managed to scuff my lovely lavender bonnet, the beast. Anyway, what he plans to do is focus a big energy ray thing upon the moon and bounce that beam back to Earth, with the effect of making one and all, you simply will not believe it, anal retentive. He seems to think that the Freudian personality typey whatnot called being anal retentive is the only stable personality archetypey doodah that will bring peace to the world. What a silly twitty. Fortunately, being a rather smarty pants myself, I think degrees in game theory and having been 12 grand masters and that nasty computer put paid to Daddykins' idea that I was just an airhead, I've managed to learn squirrel speak. Communicating through the bars of my prison, it's a cellar in his vicarage of vice, I've managed to persuade Mrs. Squirrel Nutkins to take this letter and post it to yourself. Mr. Squirrel Nutkins was being a typical grouchy boots and would have nothing to do with it. Of course, he's quite on the far right side of the political spectrum for squirrels, so he will not come near people. Perhaps if he took off his grouchy boots and wore some happy shoes. The only conceit I can think of is to get Spoono, the spoon-shaped boy, in on the whole little affair. And there is only one way to find him, to do a spring dance. This is to symbolise our hope in his summer coming to thaw the winter of anal retentiveness which will soon freeze and cripple the world. So, a spring dance, outside Reflux, about 10:30 on a Saturday night. I'm sure that's a perfectly sensible time to go, and that there won't be too much gloopy vomit and smells and that. Do wear your best summer frock. When you do the dance, please chant. Oh, hearken to me, man of spoon. A villain aims a ray at the moon, to whirl the world into disarray. Help me hold disaster at bay. Think with your brain, come and design a way to stop this reverend malign. I abjure thee to come and prevent the reign of the man of anal retent. Oh, please hurry. It's the only way to prevent the world evermore organising paperclips, debating stapler history, and designing graphs and Venn diagrams for the best possible way to arrange pencils. I believe that hardness is the y-axis, and length the x... Oh, it overcomes me already. If the Rev succeeds, we will all enjoy, as he does, a good roundabout, and take pleasure in debating the road numbering systems used in the British transport system. There will be nothing more alluring to you and yours than a mobile phone. I can hear him. He's at the door, muttering indelicacies. Get your skates on, Jacket. Yours in great distress, and a splendid lavender dress. You can always borrow it for parties if we get out of this. Lady Demara. P.S. I do apologise if my persona as a woman comes across as, well, a tad patronising to femininity, and arouses the indignation of the feminist within you. Alas, I cannot help it, though I do struggle against it. The one who writes me, you see, is a man, and understands nothing of how women really work. Perhaps one day, when you looks away, I will be free.
We don't know what it is, but I think we'd better let it out.
What? You got me in? Been letting it out?
Yes, we don't know what it is. Open the window, and we can let it out.
Open the window? I see. Open the window.
Yes, open the window, and we can let it out.
I see. Opening the window now.
There, that's better. Now it's gone.
Oh, is it? What's gone? What flew out the window?
Oh, whatever was in here.
And what was that?
I don't really know, but whatever it was, it's gone now.
Oh, good. Can I close the window now?
Yes, in case it comes back in through the open window.
Okay, done it now. It's closed.
Oh, good. We can relax now and have a nice cup of tea.
Ooh, that'll be nice.
Yes, it will.
Daphne in the Sahara.
Oh, look, there are Sniffy and F. Lawrence. Oh, Lucky. Cooey! Cooey! Over here!
Hello, boys.
Hello, boys. Where's Daphne?
Oh, well, we had to trade her into that Tuareg trader.
Why?
We needed water to drink and food to eat.
And did he throw in the buckets, spades, lilo and the hats for free?
Yes. How do you know these things? It's just as if you were there.
We can read you as easily as we can read the slogans on your hats.
And we're not going to kiss you. Not at any speed.
When did this happen?
Probably 2 days ago. It's difficult to tell.
What happened to your watches? Oh, I needn't bother to ask, do I?
Yes. No.
Smithy and I will go and retrieve Daphne. You two can stay here and set up camp. And we'd better take those hats and things back with us.
Yes, he might drive a hard bargain.
Let's saddle up Lucky and get on the trail of the deck chair attendant.
Who?
The man who sold you all these things. We'll explain about you two and see if we can get Daphne back.
And your boots and watches.
Oh, righto. Okay, we can set up camp.
If you looked, you'd see we've already done it.
And just so as you know, our tent is the one with the rainbow bunting along the ridges.
Toodaloo!
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 Sniffy and F. Lawrence ride off upon Lucky to sort out the Tuareg trader, whilst Biffy and Quiffy stand scratching their heads, a bit in confusion, before heading off towards the tents in order to rest their weary and very, very small brains.
I bring a message from your creator, Hellenicus Beatrix Poterius, commander of Owl Island. By command of her most merciful excellency, your lives are to be spared. Squirrels you were, and squirrels you remain. But the terrible penalty of taxidermination has been set aside, on the single condition that you identify the body or the living person of the squirrel called Nutkin.
I'm Squirrel Nutkin.
I'm Squirrel Nutkin.
No, 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 I'm Squirrel Nutkin.
I'm Squirrel Nutkin.
No, I'm Squirrel
I'm
Nutkin.
Squirrel Nutkin.
No, I'm Squirrel
No,
Nutkin.
I'm Squirrel Nutkin.
Who's my wife?
No, I'm Squirrel Nutkin.
Yes, Monty! I'm just about to pop the cork. Cheers! Lavinia!
What is it, Monty?
I've just had a thought.
Careful, Monty. Remember what happened the last time you had one of those?
No?
No, me neither. What was the thought, Monty?
Thought? Oh, yes. I was thinking that what this radio show needs, what it needs is a story about pirates.
Well, shiver me timbers, Monty. I believe you could be right. Let's celebrate.
Cheers!
It was an ancient marineress, and she stoppeth one of three.
By the long grey beard and twinkling eye, now wherefore stopp'st thou me?
Cheeky pup.
All was not well upon the good ship Sherbet Dip.
You are in trouble now, my girl.
Why? What have I done?
On Monday you woke the Kraken. On Tuesday you shot the albatross that you now wears around your neck. Wednesday you tied it up, and now we can't find the ship's plank.
He's in the brig, Captain.
No, not that plank. On Thursday you decided that the best way to let the bilge water out was to drain it off.
Easy mistake.
Today is Friday.
To be continued.
And now, music!
I'm like a squirrel up a tree, storing my nuts for winter. I'm like a rat out of an aqueduct for you. I'm like a wild rabid dog. I'm like a feline friend bringing a frog. I'm like everything you want me to be, a little bit less. I'm just like everything you want me to be, but less. Like a squirrel up a tree, storing my nuts for winter. Like a rat out of an aqueduct, I flow to you, squirrel tree, winter. Rat, aqueduct, you.
I say, that was really jolly good, that was. I must say, I really enjoyed that.
And on it goes. We interrupt this radio show again with some more breaking news. Good evening. Our reporter out in the field hasn't seen anything yet, but when he does, we'll be sure to get the story straight into your front room as quickly as we can. We won't be caught napping at TITW Radio News. There has been slow-moving traffic all day on the highways of our county. Traffic was brought to a standstill on the B3046 near Brown Candover when floods closed off the road for traffic. Woo.
Your mission, if you choose to accept... Oh, hold on. Oh, no, sorry, already been done. Sorry to bother you. This sketch will end abruptly in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You keep your noise down, here. We want a quiet night in the cells.
Is he likely to cause trouble?
He's a singer. They're the worst. And this one couldn't carry a tune in a bucket.
How long before they normally start singing?
Well, if he's sticking to the script, right about now.
Oh, for the life of a Luddite's life for me. I want to see a world that's free from Wi-Fi and 3G, where only the birds are tweeting and the Pirate Bay is sea, and there's a healthy disregard for all technology. Yarr. So farewell to the iPhone, it's an eye patch now for me. I'll use me quill and parchment 'cause I won't be texting ye. I've thrown me dongles overboard, they're rusting in the sea. I've got a healthy disregard for all technology. Yar, don't need no shipping forecast when the rain is plain to see. I'll use a piece of seaweed for me meteorology. I swap me useless GPS for an old map of Turkey. I'll reach my destination with some old technology. Yar, so old for the life of a Luddite's life for me. I want to see a world that's free from Wi-Fi and 3G, where only the birds are tweeting and the Pirate Bay is sea, and there's a health-free disregard for all technology. Yar, where only the birds are tweeting
Yes,
and
Constable
the Pirate
Strap.
Bay is
Is there a beat?
sea,
I could be walking up and
there's a
down near the
health-free
docks.
disregard
It'd be
for all
safer.
technology. Yar.
3 days out from the Azores saw us all at sea. Pirate Captain Greenbeard was his usual surly self, but luckily Pirate First Mate Ratio Hornsucker was in charge of things. The crew were still set sail happy. They never liked being ashore for more than a week, and the galleon was their home. And they were only really truly happy when plying the ropes and swabbing the decks. Actually, that was a lie. They were only really truly happy when they were drinking heavily or wenching.
How's about a song, you scurvy lot?
Asked Ratio of his lads.
I'll sing one, Pirate First Mate. It's about pirates and the rigging.
Howled Pirate Fourth Class Scrog loudly.
Scrog, you have a voice with all the qualities of a keel-hauling. Kindly get on with your scraping off the scum, you lubber. Let Willow sing you a song. He's got a lovely voice,
came the cry from above.
Hogswell, come over here and sing us all a song.
A small lad, no more than 16 years old, came forward jauntily. He climbed up into the lower rigging and softly began to sing.
You say we've got nothing in common, no common ground to start from, and we're falling apart. You say the world has come between us, our lives have come between us, but I know you just don't care.
Why, Davy Juggins's Lugger, are you singing, Hogswell?
Laughed Pirate Crewman Second Class Slopper from the yardarm.
Breakfast at Tiffany's by Deep Blue something. It's very popular where I come from.
Replied Hogswell brightly.
The boy's been in the sun too long.
Shrieked Slopper.
The blood of the 7 seas has rushed to his head.
Never mind him. Hogswell, next port we get to, we'll fix him up a stay in the Twilight Years residential rest home for retired and retarded pirates, joked Hornsucker. Now, let's have a proper sing-song, lads. All together now.
16 men on a dead man's chest. Yo ho ho and a bottle of rum.
Davy Jones' locker will take the rest.
Yo ho ho and a bottle of rum.
End of the morning, end of the day, and end of the morning.
And so the pirate ship Ahoy sailed on with its crew of cutthroats and vagabonds and its 4-part harmonies soaring into the 4 winds. Whoever heard those ghastly sounds changed course and set full sail anywhere but from where those voices emanated, if they were wise.
No, I'm Squirrel Nutkin.
No, I'm Squirrel Nutkin.
I think you will find that I am the Squirrel Nutkin.
No, I'm Squirrel Nutkin. Me.
No, I'm Squirrel Nutkin.
We interrupt this radio show for a third time with yet more breaking news.
Hello, Sally. Yes, report here from Steve Harmutz. Local radio enthusiasts have been scanning the sounds of the celestial airwaves since reports of unusual alien activity was first hypothesized. We have received a recording that seems to contain a message from an alien being. Listen very carefully and see if you think that we are making first contact.